Imagine this. It's the early 19th century, and scientists are puzzled by the nature of electricity. Many believe it's just an interesting phenomenon with no practical applications. But then, a self-taught scientist with little formal education comes along and changes everything. This man is Michael Faraday, whose groundbreaking experiments in electricity and magnetism laid the foundation for modern technology. Without his discoveries, our world would look very different today. We might not have electricity in our homes or the devices we rely on every day. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Speak English Fluently channel. Today we're diving into the fascinating life of the father of electricity, Michael Faraday. And while we explore his discoveries, we'll be learning new English words and phrases together. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can continue improving your English fluency with us. Now, let's get started.
Emily, have you ever wondered how electricity actually works?
Oh, I have. But to be honest, I'm not entirely sure I understand it. I know Michael Faraday had something to do with it, right?
Exactly. Faraday is known as the father of electricity because he made some of the most important discoveries in the field. Do you know what electromagnetic induction is?
Electromagnetic induction? I think I've heard of it, but what exactly does it mean?
Good question. Electromagnetic induction is when a voltage or electric current is generated in a conductor because of a changing magnetic field. Faraday discovered that if you move a magnet through a coil of wire, it creates electricity. Isn't that incredible?
That really is amazing. So, we can thank Faraday for things like electric generators and transformers, right?
Exactly. And here's a fun fact for you. The word induction comes from the Latin word inducere, which means to lead into. It's when something is brought about, like electricity being led into the wire.
Oh, that's fascinating. Speaking of vocabulary, John, what does the word conductor mean in this context?
A conductor is a material that allows electricity to flow through it easily. So, for example, metals like copper and aluminum are great conductors.
I see. And we can use conductor in sentences like, copper is often used as a conductor in electrical wiring, right?
Exactly. You've got it. Now, here's another word you might find interesting. Insulator. Do you know what an insulator is? Yes, an insulator is a material that doesn't allow electricity to pass through easily, like rubber or glass. So, if a conductor allows electricity to flow, an insulator blocks it.
So that's why electrical wires are covered in rubber. It's to keep us safe from the electricity.
Correct. Let's use it in a sentence. Rubber is an excellent insulator, which is why it's used to cover electrical wires.
Makes sense. This whole conversation reminds me of how little I knew about Faraday's impact. I didn't even know he was the one who invented the electric motor. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Faraday's invention of the electric motor was another breakthrough. He discovered that by using electricity, you could create motion. In fact, this is what powers many of the machines we use today.
So many things we take for granted, like fans or electric cars, owe their existence to him. Now that you mention it, what's the difference between a generator and a motor?
That's a great question. A generator converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. For example, when you pedal a bicycle with a generator attached, it produces electricity. On the other hand, a motor does the opposite. It converts electrical energy into mechanical energy, making things move.
Wow, that makes it so much clearer. So, could I say, the wind turbine is a type of generator that converts wind energy into electricity?
Perfect example, Emily. You're really getting the hang of this. Another useful word to know is electromagnetism. Do you know what that means?
I think so. Is electromagnetism the relationship between electricity and magnetism?
Exactly. It refers to the forces that occur between electrically charged particles. Faraday's experiments in electromagnetism changed the way scientists thought about the world. He showed that electricity and magnetism are part of the same force.
And that's why we call it electromagnetic waves, like the ones used in radios and microwaves?
Exactly. Those waves are a result of electromagnetism. Faraday's research paved the way for radio, television, and even Wi-Fi.
So, would it be correct to say Faraday's experiments laid the foundation for modern electromagnetic technologies?
Yes, that's spot on. Now, another important term is electrolysis. Have you heard of that?
Oh, I've definitely heard of electrolysis. Isn't that a chemical process?
It is. Electrolysis is the process of using electricity to cause a chemical reaction, usually breaking down a substance. Faraday used it to separate elements like hydrogen and oxygen from water.
So, could we say electrolysis is often used to produce hydrogen gas for industrial purposes?
Yes, that's exactly right. And Faraday's laws of electrolysis are still used in industries today.
You know, John, I'm learning so many new words from this conversation. We've covered induction, conductor, insulator, motor, generator, electromagnetism, and electrolysis. This has really helped me understand Faraday's impact on science.
I'm glad you're finding it helpful. Faraday was a brilliant man, but did you know he had no formal education in science?
Really? That's incredible. How did he manage to make such important discoveries?
He was truly self-taught. He worked as an apprentice to a bookbinder, where he read a lot of scientific books. His curiosity drove him to experiment, and his talent was recognized by Sir Humphrey Davy, who hired him as an assistant.
That's so inspiring. It shows that you don't need formal education to achieve great things. You just need curiosity and dedication.
Exactly. Faraday's story is proof that passion for learning can lead to incredible discoveries.
Speaking of learning, do you know what apprentice means?
Yes, an apprentice is someone who works with a skilled person to learn a trade. For example, Faraday was an apprentice to a bookbinder and later to a chemist.
That's a good word to know. So I could say, Faraday was an apprentice to Sir Humphrey Davy before becoming a renowned scientist.
Perfect usage. And one more word you'll find interesting is pioneering. Have you heard that one?
I think so. Does it mean being one of the first to do something?
Exactly. A pioneer is someone who makes new discoveries or creates new ideas. Faraday's work in electricity was pioneering. He was one of the first to explore and explain these concepts.
So, we could say, Faraday was a pioneering scientist in the field of electromagnetism.
Yes, that's a great sentence. You're really mastering these terms, Emily.
Thanks, John. I'm loving how we're blending science with vocabulary learning.
What a fascinating conversation. It's incredible how Michael Faraday, a self-taught scientist, revolutionized our understanding of electricity and magnetism. His discoveries laid the groundwork for so many of the technologies we rely on today, from electric motors to the entire power grid. I hope you enjoyed learning new words like electromagnetism, induction, electrolysis, and more. If you want to keep improving your English while learning about interesting topics, be sure to subscribe to the Speak English Fluently channel. We have so much more to explore together. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.